Have you ever pointed someone in the wrong direction and they thanked you for it? You know how people say they met their soulmate at an airport? Well, I met my worst enemy at JFK, and she had no idea I even existed. I'd been silently hating her for exactly 47 minutes while she'd been loudly FaceTiming for 50. By the time we reached gate B37, I knew everything about her. Her coffee order was an oat milk latte, extra hot, her dog's name was Princess, and that I was already plotting her downfall in my head. I'd never felt such pure hatred for someone who didn't know I was alive. It was almost romantic, in a deeply unhealthy way. While walking to my gate, I noticed her service dog was in the middle of doing its business while she loudly FaceTimed with her back to the whole scene. A gentleman tried to get her attention, pointing politely at the situation, but she cut him off immediately. "Mind your own business," she snapped. "If you have time to watch my dog, maybe you should get a job here cleaning it up." The man just walked away without another word. "Some people are just so damned rude," she said loudly to whoever she was FaceTiming with no hint of irony. When her dog finished, she started walking away, leaving everything right on the airport floor. Another woman tried to stop her and asked if she was really going to leave it there, but her response was immediate and dismissive. "They have people for that." Then she disappeared into the crowd. The real kicker? There was that the pet relief area was literally 2 gates away, but this was clearly the type of person who'd litter 3 feet from an empty garbage can, so leaving dog shit on the airport floor was probably just another Tuesday for her. When I got to my gate and saw her there, my heart sank. Great, we were both going to Tokyo. To make it worse, her dog was now barking at everyone who walked by while she sat there with noise-canceling headphones on, completely oblivious to the chaos. I don't like to throw around the word sociopath, but I don't know how else I could explain just how selfish and terrible of a person she was. Everyone else tried to ignore her, sitting as far away as possible, but I am not everyone else. I sat down close enough to study her like a specimen. She spread her belongings across 3 seats and snapped at an airline employee who asked her to move her bags for an elderly couple. The employee backed down immediately, probably not paid enough to deal with this level of entitlement. Then came the moment that changed everything. A young black woman sat down nearby, traveling alone with just a backpack, and the horrible woman looked at her and stage whispered to her FaceTime friend, loud enough for everyone to hear. "Oh my god, look, there's a black girl going to Tokyo by herself. You know they're like obsessed with them over there, right? Like there's some exotic animal at the zoo. The Japanese love staring at them and taking pictures. It's hilarious." She paused, then added the words that sealed her fate. "They don't really have that kind there, you know? That's why I should just move to Tokyo. It'd be paradise." The young woman went completely still, then quietly gathered her things and moved to the far corner of the gate area. I watched her shrink away, and something in my chest went cold. I was about to spend 11 hours to Tokyo with someone who just called a human being an exotic animal and said Japan would be paradise without black people. That's when I decided she wasn't getting on this flight. I'd been watching her for almost an hour and noticed she never looked at signs or monitors, just her phone. She was so self-absorbed and confident in her own importance that I knew she'd believe anything said with authority. Her entitlement was her weakness, and I was about to exploit it. I sat directly next to her and asked if she was going to London on business. She responded gruffly that she was going to Tokyo, annoyed at the interruption, and that's when I delivered the lie that would ruin her trip. "Oh, then you better hurry. They moved the Tokyo flight to gate A12. This is the London flight now." I said it with the casual confidence of someone sharing helpful information. She didn't even hesitate. "Oh, now you tell me. Thanks a lot." She grabbed her bags and her dog in a huff and stormed out of the gate without checking the monitors that still clearly displayed Tokyo as our destination. She was so self-involved that she didn't notice almost everyone at the gate was Japanese. I watched her disappear toward gates that didn't exist, dragging her rolling suitcase and her barking dog behind her. The flight to Tokyo was at gate B37 in the main concourse, so the A gates were all the way across the terminal in a completely different section. When we finished boarding, they held the plane for 15 minutes waiting for a missing passenger, and I knew exactly who it was. She never showed up, and I definitely didn't hear her dog during the flight, which meant she'd missed the only Delta flight to Tokyo that day. Maybe she can rebook on another airline. I hear they have people for that.